I think we would all agree that our childhood is what molds us. It sets the stage of what we're going to grow into. And as a parent, we want our children to have what we had or more. And although many of the parents are looking for new construction because they think nothing needs to be done and everything's move-in ready, it's not necessarily the right place maybe for the kids. Depending on the ages of your children, if they are of playing age with their friends in the neighborhood, then maybe a resale home might be more ideal for that family type of lifestyle. When you're looking at new construction, it can take years for the community to not only sell out, but to fill up. Like you have pools, but no one to play at the pool. You have trees, but they're not big enough for shade. You maybe have some flowers coming, but it's going to be a few years. And if you're buying new construction, the backyard 99% of the time does not come with the home. So if you're looking for an amazing backyard, you're going to be spending some pretty pennies after closing. When you look at newer homes, not necessarily new, but newer homes, maybe 5 to 10 years old, you still get a lot of the benefits of buying a new home. Like you don't have some of the big ticket maintenance items due for a very, very long time, but someone else is one that put in the big ticket items. For instance, a pool. If you're thinking new construction and you're putting in pretty basic pool with travertine and maybe a little pergola area, you're looking over $100,000. If you were to resell that home based on that $100,000 improvement, you're only looking at about a $30,000 or $40,000 appreciation value contributed to that investment. So again, maybe it makes sense for someone else to put the pool in. So what I'm going to do in this video today is I want to show you some newer homes and even an older home that will wow you, that if you are thinking about raising family, making the best investment, getting the biggest bang for your dollar, also be close to everything that your family needs. We're talking employment, we're talking freeway, we're talking shopping, dining, we're talking kids already in the neighborhood that are playing together. There's community events, there's parades, there's shopping, there's dining, there's Easter egg hunts, there's Halloween mega trick or treats. This is something to consider. And I think a lot of people, when they're relocating, are only thinking about the house part. They're not thinking about the lifestyle. So that's what sets us apart, by the way, between us and all the other YouTubers, is you'll find that most of them are just talking about the new construction and the beautiful model because they really don't know much outside of the community or what it has to offer. Again, that's what sets us apart. But let's start with only one of the three that I'm going to be showing you today. And I want to hear your feedback. I'd like to know what you think about these homes. This first one that we're going to show you, this is what the oldest one that we're going to show you, but I cannot tell you how much I love this neighborhood. This neighborhood, the charm, when you talk about Arizona and how we have all our cookie cutter homes, this neighborhood is hardly that. This is a community called Montaluna, and Montaluna is about 20 years old. And before you say anything, 20 years is not old for a home. And if you're thinking about quality building, it really was back 20 years ago when we had quality builders and they use much better solid material. Then we're also looking at the homeowner previously, whether it be one or two or whatever, that have made improvements. This particular one has made an over the top backyard. Check this out. This was the MLS photo for the backyard. This is over in today's world. If you called up a contractor today and said, I want to build this backyard, you're looking at close to $200,000, maybe $190,000 if you can negotiate something. But you cannot replace these trees. The trees, the bushes, the hedges, that luxury, lavish green feel that you have in this backyard instantly from when you move in really can't be beat. This particular home also has amazing upgrades since it was originally built. So when we're looking at, actually, I've talked enough. Let's take a look at the home and tell me what you think. This home is 5 bedroom plus a loft. And wait till you guys see this loft. It is so charming. You just don't see homes like this. It has 4.5 baths, more than enough room for an extended family, a large family, or a combined family, or even multifamily. It has 3,800 square feet in this home, and the lot itself is 8,400 square feet. I know a lot of people are looking for larger lots than even this, but the fact that it is on the edge and right next to the common area and also has this beautiful hedge work you'll see in the backyard, it really feels like you are by yourself, even though you only have 8,400 square feet. This is also built in 2005. It has a 3-car garage, and this particular home is north-south facing, with the most ideal direction of your backyard, which is going to be south facing, which will get the majority of the sun throughout the day, but not the direct sun, as opposed to your backyard facing west. This covered patio is unbelievably large. It has a built-in barbecue. There is a gas fire pit out here. There's also turf and herringbone travertine. People don't realize, again, the cost of these materials to build this same backyard. It also has a huge pool with a Baja shelf and, as I mentioned earlier, mature landscaping. This backyard alone, again, just completely elevates this home. When you're buying this kind of a home, 20 years old, first of all, the AC is probably the original, because most ACs are lasting 20 years, but when they start to get a little over 15, 16, they don't become as energy efficient. So instead of putting in like a $200,000 backyard in a brand new home to get something like this, and not have to put in a new AC or roof, what if you bought a home that was like this, already done, and you put in this home would require 3 ACs, and they would be top of the line energy efficient, just like you would have in the new construction. As far as the roof, although it's getting close to its time to be replaced, you still have probably a good 10 years left on this home, if not longer. And then obviously you will have enjoyed your home for a while, and then you can make that investment on your roof, which is actually surprisingly not as much as a lot of people think. Now, of course, it depends on the size of the home, but I would say a 2-story under 4,000 square feet, you're still looking at less than 25,000. I had a visitor in from Florida that she was making comments on her friend that was doing the home shopping, and she made a comment on a home having a roof need. It was less than 2,000 square feet, and her comment was, oh, this roof is going to be like $65,000. Don't listen to outside influence, guys. It's different depending on what part of the country you come from. Don't forget, our taxes are incredibly low, and homeowners insurance is also incredibly low when comparing to other parts of the country. So if all those other costs are important to you, you just got to give us a call so we can walk you through. It's not just about the home price. But here's the thing, guys. This particular home price, finished, and this is the list price. I'm pretty sure we can get you a better deal. The list price is $875,000. You couldn't touch a new home this size without a backyard for under $850,000 in Maricopa County. Like, this is, well, I should say in the Southeast Valley. There is definitely a very big difference on price between the Southeast Valley and the Southwest Valley. And it has everything to do with freeways, jobs, commercial, meaning retail, shopping, dining, and the most important in my world with my children and my grandchildren is the entertainment. You want to stimulate their lives, right? And give them something to look forward to, whether it's swimming lessons, it's Easter egg hunt at Vertuccio Farms, it's hitting the farmer's market every weekend in downtown Gilbert or downtown Queen Creek. It is all the festivals. It is the trains that we have here. Oh, did I talk about the walking paths? Let me talk about, if you are an outdoor lover, first of all, if you're not an outdoor lover, when you move to Arizona, you're going to become an outdoor lover. And there is nothing healthier for children to get outdoors and explore. This particular community and the next community that I'm going to introduce you to is right by not one, but 2 ginormous wash trails. This is how Arizona, Phoenix, uses land that you can't build on. So for instance, the washes, We don't get a lot of rain, but when we get rain, we get downpour. Needless to say, when we get the downpour, these washes fill up with water, so they can never build homes around here. But they have made multi-use trails. And what do I mean by multi-use trails? Well, it depends on which one. The Queen Creek Wash Trail is going to be open to bicyclists, joggers, walkers, and horses. And of course, you can bring your dog as long as they're on a leash. Now, there's another one called Sonoqui. Say that. That's actually easy. It looks harder than it is. Sonoqui Wash Trail is designated as an equestrian trail, so you're going to see a lot more horse poop. Just saying, but it's also open to everybody. They just don't allow any kind of electrical kind of things, like you can't bring golf carts, you can't bring your rails, you can't bring scooters, etc. So, or e-bikes. Although that's becoming very popular in this part of the town, I'll tell you. Well, I think it's everywhere, right? Yeah, kids get $2,500 bicycles. That's just cuckoo. All right, let me jump straight into the second community that I want to share with you. This is a newer community. They actually just finished building over here about 3 or 4 years ago. So there's some really newer homes, and it's even closer to the Queen Creek Wash Trail. I have to say that slowly. And it's just a little bit closer to even downtown Queen Creek. So everything that I just mentioned and in my past videos, this particular community called Hastings Farms. Love Hastings Farms is just down the street from Montaluna. And by the way, I did do a video that's kind of by both of these communities called Ellsworth Ranch. In Ellsworth Ranch, the back of Ellsworth Ranch actually kind of connects to Hastings Farm. So you can't cut through one to get to the other. But the point is they're right next door, and Ellsworth Ranch is a new community by Taylor Morrison. So when we look at this particular home, I want to compare it to that home. So again, you can see the benefit of getting a resale home. And in my opinion, an absolutely gorgeous home. Let's take a look. Now, this particular home is, if you were buying it from new construction, would have a very large lot premium. But because it's resale, it's kind of built into that price. And just so you have kind of a reference point, this is going to be at $850 is the asking price. That doesn't mean that would be the price we would get you. But for $850, we're talking a 5-bedroom home again. This is going to be single level though this time. And it also has a common area, a loft, a multi-gen room, flex room, whatever you want to call it. It has 3 full baths, and the total square footage is 3,172 square feet. This home was built in 2016, so that means that it does not need a new roof and it does not need air conditioning. It's literally move-in ready. The other appeal for this particular house is it has over 10,000 square feet. It's also facing that north-south desired backyard in the south. And look at this. The backyard, not only do you have a lot of space in between your neighbors, but just beyond that view fencing is a huge open area. So it gives you the illusion and the feel that you're even further away from your neighbors. And again, from a builder, if you were buying this from a builder, this would have a very big lot premium. So we compared this to the Taylor Morrison homes just over the back fence, if you want to call it, the neighborhood back fence. This lot premium would be in excess of $30,000 on top of the base price. So at $850, not only are we getting this completed home, there is a lot of design elements that you also would be putting in after. People don't realize, I mean, even just the paint, the personal touch on the lighting fixtures. There's so many details, including this backyard, which is going to be, I'm going to say, around $140,000. It might be a little bit more, but that's also because turf has become very expensive. But long term, it lasts longer. It takes less care, less maintenance, and you also have lower water bills. So this particular home, in my opinion, at $850 rings the bell. If we were to go over to Ellsworth Ranch, they have a similar floor plan called the Breckenridge, which is very popular. Again, I've done a ton of videos on that floor plan all over the greater Phoenix area. But the spec, let me say, the base price for Ellsworth Ranch, so to compare the same areas, is $775, so $775,000. That's the base price. And they have a spec home available for $820. And let me reiterate what spec homes are. Spec homes are the ones that the builders start already, and they don't put in all the wonderful updates and upgrades that you would probably do if you were building this home yourself. They usually pick like the top 10, 12 things that the consumer usually buys that they can actually see so that it's appealing to buyers. They don't want to make ugly homes, right? So they will put in the beautiful cabinets, but maybe not have those soft closing drawers. There's things like that throughout the home. Like you don't have the lights that hang down, the pendant lights. You don't have the additional can lights. You don't have additional surround sound. You don't have power outlets and things like that to make those spec homes more appealing. So if you were to build a brand new home with that base price over at Taylor Morrison, you would be well at $900,000 and still not have a backyard. That, my friends, is why I would highly recommend Hastings Farms. I think is so charming. I love all the roads kind of through the neighborhood. And this particular home, again, is right across the street from a little open area that gives you literally like a private entrance straight onto the Queen Creek Wash Trail. I keep wanting to say Queen Creek. It's Queen Creek. Not Queens, it's Queen Creek. All right, let's get on to number 3. It's not in Queen Creek, but it's right up the road. Okay, so we're gonna pop up just a little north. We're gonna take Ellsworth Road. Now, Ellsworth Road is right now 2 lanes in each direction. And let me tell you, when we start to get some more money set aside for road improvements in this area, we are going to see this widen. There are cameras on this road, by the way, so do not speed. I think it's 45. Just go 45. If people honk at you, just let them honk. Ellsworth Road also is directly connected to a freeway, which is going to be State Route 24. And then it connects to 202. So having that main bloodline and getting to 24 and getting to 202 is going to get you into other parts of the Southeast Valley even faster. But the thing about this particular community called Eastmark is really hard to beat for any community in the entire Arizona state. How's that? This Eastmark has been rated within the top 5 communities in the country for many, many years. The total community took 15 years to build. We are now approaching like 17th year or something like that. But this particular home, one of my absolute favorite builders, if you haven't watched my videos, is David Weekley. Such thoughtful floor plans, no matter whether it was 7 years ago when this home was built. So think about that, guys. It's only 7 years. It's lightly lived in. It still has a ton of life left on everything. And more importantly, this backyard still tops over $100,000. Let's take a look. This particular home is in a gated part of Eastmark. So it's a very elevated kind of luxury area of Eastmark. Our client that we were with asked what the name of the neighborhood was, and it's still Eastmark. Everything in Eastmark is Eastmark. It doesn't have any differentiators other than possibly by saying the name of the builder. But again, that was a builder thing, and now that it's resale, everything is just Eastmark. This is a single level, 4-bedroom, plus 2 loft type areas. And when you have a single level, and I say loft, what I mean is it's a flex room. You can use it for whatever you want. A sitting room, a piano room, a reading room, a multi-gen room, a sewing room. There's so many options, but it comes with, that means 4 true bedrooms and 2 other areas that you can use however you like. This is a total of, 2,750 square feet. So it's a little bit smaller than the other homes, but let me tell you the price tag on this one. Again, the list price is $825. We could probably get you a good deal at this one. It does have a lot of 8,523 square feet. So again, it's really nice. This does have an interior road right behind us. So there's no homes directly behind you. Some people really like that for the fact that they have additional privacy. Again, we talked about the home was built in 2018 and the builder is David Weegley. Super move-in ready, backyard is over the top. And again, at $825, you're saving money by buying resale if you want one of these amazing backyards. Eastmark, in addition to this fantastic home, is so curbed towards children and the family lifestyle. I love the Central Park area, which is partially maintained by the HOA and also the city. This is a big community center. The community center is only open for residents. This has amazing programs, very much like a city community center, like painting programs and reading programs. They have a splash pad and a private pool. Well, community pool, private for the residents. It also has the Steadfast Farms right here on site. So if you are talking about wanting fresh coffee or a fresh sandwich or fresh lettuce, you can pop on into the farm store every single day and pick up whatever your fix is. There's a giant orange, I think it's called the Orange Monster. It is, I've climbed to the top of it. It's a little scary up there, but it's great for the kids. There is also this beautiful lake to walk around, and there's ducks always there. Levi always loves to chase them. Sorry about that. And they also have community events. I happened to be there one day when they had a festival. They've also done movies in the park. They have a big spring fling there for the kids. They have all kinds of things that are going on between Halloween and Christmas and 4th of July. It's really, truly an area, a community for children. And now that it is completely sold out, there is over 15,000 homes in this one community. Your children will have a plethora of kids to play with. There are community parks, the big ginormous ones, but then there's also these little neighborhood ones also sprawled throughout the community. In fact, there was a little message left for us on one of the homes we looked at. Editor, show this little clip. It's so cute.
I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but it says, "We are happy for you to be here." And then right here it says, "Hello, welcome to our house." Oh my gosh, that's just so precious.
Also, if you have older children that are involved in like club sports, you are going to love the fact that you are literally right down the street from Arizona Athletic Ground. They have baseball, softball, pickleball, they have e-games, they have festivals, they have volleyball, they have soccer, they have Little League, they have, I could go on and on. In fact, they also are starting to do some other kind of like concerts and festivals, and it is just unbelievable for the kids and those sporting kind of programs. The schools in this area are fantastic. In fact, all of these areas all have 10 out of 10 rated schools. They have A+ schools, and there is so much camaraderie from the community. This area, that's why it's hard to say the areas, but I'm telling you, this is the hot spot. You guys got to take my word for it. Here's the thing. We specialize in relocation. So here's what you got to do. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'll get you set up on a Zoom call. That is the very first thing we want to do with you. And we are going to interview each other. You interview us, although you can do your research on me and my team before you give us a call. We are on all the socials and we have an extensive library. Our website is over the top incredible. Check it out. There is a map. You could go on the map and click the different cities and it will bring you to videos in that area. If this isn't the right area for you and maybe you want to go to a neighboring area. If you'll notice, what I was showing today is kind of the mid 800s, very popular price point for families moving here. So again, that's why I picked these three to show you today. But we'll interview each other. You tell us what you're looking for in a realtor and what your goal and your journey looks like. We will tell you what to expect. We'll help you not only on the real estate portion, but we talk about areas. We don't just talk about one area. We are well briefed and deep dive in the entire greater Phoenix area. You're not going to find that anywhere else on YouTube. We cannot wait to hear from you. Wait no longer. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, or weekends, we got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. And I cannot wait to hear from you. Bye.